Hi there. So in this final video we're going to cover the last machining processes required to finish this part. However, in order to do so we need to define a spindle takeover, and that requires that we define some setup stages first. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the initial spindle takeover operation, which under add operation and move part you can see turn takeover comes up as an option. Don't worry about its positioning for now, this is not how it's going to finally be. And we now need to define a setup stage under structure. So in doing so, what the setup stage entails is it will inherit the initial properties of the setup from the root operation, and it allows you to define subsequent setups after the fact as well. So this first one is a direct copy of our initial setup, and the second setup operation that we'll be using will allow us to redefine things like the workpiece setup and the workpiece connector and all of the coordinates relative to that. So we're now going to add a second setup stage, which is now here. So this allows us to subsequently define where the workpiece is going to be in relation to the rest of the machining operations. So for starters, we're going to change the workpiece connector over to the counter spindle, and we're going to move the workpiece relative to its original coordinate system, and I want to move it to about here. Let's move it to -156, so we've got a fairly good grip on that collar there, and we'll click OK here, and we want to set the chuck diameter to 40 because that's the diameter of this part here. So the J2 chuck diameter is now 40. Press return, you can see how that clamps down properly. So that pretty much defines our primary setup for this point. The next thing that we need to do is we are going to start making our second stage actual turning operations. Firstly, we're going to face off this part, and then we're going to do a grooving operation, and then we're going to do a final outer diameter operation. It's predominantly a roughing operation with a finishing pass. So first things first, let's define our facing operation. So go to lathe and lathe facing. And I don't know if you saw it there or not, but it's actually chosen a tool that faces the wrong way for our needs, and it's automatically defined the wrong side for facing because it's tried to inherit those properties. Excuse me. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to change the tool over. So we are going to select a tool out of our tool table that fits, which is tool 12. We're going to select the tool for the operation, and we are also going to go to job assignment now, and we're going to delete this initial definition because it's not right, and we are instead going to select this face and click on facing here, and we can see now how it's got the correct positioning but it doesn't have the correct orientation. So again, we can fix that by clicking on this arrow here. We also want to tell it how much material it's going to be facing off. So under cycle params, I think we're going to set this to probably, let's go with 8mm just to be safe, and we're going to set the pass count to about 6, should be fine. And that looks like it should do a nice clean job of facing off all of that material there. However, there is a slight issue in that the final facing pass will clear off this stub here, but it might be a little bit messy and it might involve some tearing going on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that first drilling operation, and I'm going to push it all the way through the part instead of just having the 3mm over from the drill tip compensation. So if we go back to setup stage 1 now, and under the first hole machining, we're going to go to job assignment, we're going to double click on this, and we are going to turn off drill tip compensation, and we're going to set the height to 80mm because I know the tool is long enough and it should be able to go all the way through the part, and I'm going to click OK on that. So we're now going to recalculate that job. Give it a second, we can see it's relinked everything properly. We're going to go back to the lathe facing setup now, and we should see, yes, so that's drilled all the way through, which means that we don't have to deal with any kind of overhang or excess material in there. Sounds like a very minor thing, but this is the sort of thing that will stop very loud bangs from happening in your lathe, and will also minimize any potential chances of poor machining results. So we're going to generate the toolpath of this current op, and we can see that it seems to do everything that we ask of it. So we're going to very quickly simulate that, and let's quickly run that, and that looks good to me. The only reason it hasn't cleared out this plug here is because we haven't re-simulated the whole thing. So I'm going to go back to machining, and I'm going to recalculate all of these operations now. And we're going to go back into simulation. We're going to reset, and we're going to simulate up to current operation. And you can see now how it's visibly drilled through. So we'll quickly rerun that just to make sure that we're happy with the result. And lo and behold, that looks pretty good to me. So we're now going to go back into machining, and the penultimate thing that we want to do is we want to finalize that grooving here. So we're going to go to add operation and lathe, and we're going to go with OD grooving once more. And the default tool that we have there is perfectly fine. There's no clearance issues or anything. However, we need to define the space which we're grooving. So let's move these handles once again. So the finish handle, and I'm going to flip this around so it goes from out coming in, and we shall now recalculate this toolpath. That looks like it's going to give us a good grooving path, but we'll simulate again just to be sure. So wait for it to change the tool. There we go. I'm quite happy with that. So the final thing that we need to do now is we are going to clean up this last outer space here. So we're going to do that with another roughing OD pass. Because it comes with the built-in finishing pass, it achieves a good surface finishing result. So lathe and OD roughing once again. Now, as we can see, it's automatically tried to default to the previous OD roughing tool, and it's coming from the wrong direction again. So we want to change that tool, and we are going to set it to tool 12 that we've got here. And we're going to select the tool for the operation. And we are now also going to define the area which it is machining, because we want it to be from here to here. And we're going to flip over the order in which it machines. The last thing that we're going to set is under cycle params. We want to make sure that it machines all of this material away evenly. So we're going to click on check workpiece again, and we can see now it does passes going all the way down. So we're going to generate this, and we're going to simulate, and we'll quickly run that to see how it looks, which is pretty much exactly as we were expecting. Now, this finalizes our project, so let's very quickly reset and regenerate everything, and then resimulate everything just at high speed to make sure that it acts as we expect it to. And so, as this progresses, I'm quite happy with the results that we're seeing so far. So this concludes the actual machining processes in this series of videos, and in the last video we'll be covering the exporting of the G-code to the machine. So I shall see you in the next one. Thank you.